What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with another player ratings video. Finally, a win. It's been a long time coming, since February, since Sonny put that ball in the net last minute against Aston Villa. But what a relief! Yeah. 3 points in, isn't it?
Yeah, we've waited a long time for that, and it's nice for it to come against the spammers, but hopefully it can contribute to them going down. It'll be nice. It was a good win, but also vital for our European hopes.
Yeah, definitely. Jose said after the game it was an absolutely must-win, that game, and he's quite right.
No doubt about it.
Let's get straight into the player ratings. Let's start off with Hugo Lloris, and we gave him a 6. What do you make out of Hugo's performance?
I think it was a quiet performance from him in general. I think there was a couple of moments during the game of note. He made a good save from Antonio in the first half. And I think when Bowen hit the post in the second half, he kind of was flapping a bit at the free kick, which led to that moment. But other than that, West Ham didn't trouble him too much. He didn't have too much to do.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of untested until maybe the final 10, 15 minutes, wasn't he? And then I think that he flapped one corner, but apart from that, nothing really too much of note from Hugo. It wasn't like the outstanding performance like he had against Man United.
Didn't need to be.
Yeah, exactly. I think the defence was on point. Let's move on to Serge Aurier. We gave him a 7. What comments have you got over Serge Aurier's performance?
I think in between both penalty areas, he was pretty good. I feel like when he got forward, he got into good positions. Lucas Moura played him in a couple of times, but it was pretty wasteful when he got into the final third. And I think defensively, he was solid. He kept Fornals pretty quiet throughout the game. But I thought there was a couple of moments when he was inside his own half and he not necessarily tried a couple things or overran a couple of passes and could have put us in a bit of trouble. But I think overall, it was a better performance from Serge and it was a pretty solid performance.
Yeah, I think it was actually one of Serge Aurier's best defensive displays for us. I know it's not saying much because of, Serge Aurier and his defensive mishaps, but I actually thought very good defensive display from Serge. Going forward, he was good. He just couldn't get that final end product. He was just
there was a lack of quality at the end of the day.
Quality in his final ball, but yeah, you can't really complain too much about Serge's performance. I thought it was a good one. No. And there was that moment with about 10 minutes to go where he took it past three players in like motions. It was really nice to see.
And then overran the ball. So
yeah, we don't talk about that. Let's move on to Ben Davies. We gave him an 8. I thought a really, really good display from Ben Davies yesterday. What did you make out of it?
Yeah, I was really impressed with him. I think especially, I thought obviously going defensively, I think he shackled Bowen pretty well, although Bowen had a couple moments. I thought he recovered well whenever Bowen got past him. And I think especially going forward, I thought he actually had a bit of quality once he was getting into the final third, picking out players in the box. He set up Lucas Moura's chance with a lovely volleyed cross in the first half, which Moura really should have buried. And I thought it was a really solid display by Ben Davies. And he wasn't afraid to get forward when he needed to. And I thought, but in general, he hanged back and he was defensively solid and he contributed to the clean sheet. Good performance.
Definitely. I thought he was more dangerous than Serge Aurier. Definitely had more quality in his final ball than Serge Aurier. That's for sure. And he did a good job defensively. Yeah, definitely one of our best players on the day. Let's move on to Eric Dier. We gave him an 8. This guy's turn. I said it last week or 2 weeks ago. If this guy can put in some assured performances week in, week out, yeah, I know maybe we should just take a pause and a breath on it at the moment because it's only a couple of games. But the last 2 games, he really has looked like a leader at the back. You can see him marshalling the defence, wins his aerial battles, second balls as well. He gets forward as well. He's striding forward, take a shot from 25 yards. I thought brilliant from Eric Dier.
Yeah, I think he's definitely getting some confidence back. It's very clear to see that. I think that you can clearly see the time in midfield that he's had. It wasn't just a game or two. He spent seasons in midfield, and I think that's clearly to his benefit. The way he's sometimes spraying his passes out wide is some delightful pings. He was pinning from the back four, and as you said, he had this ability to get forward. There was one moment he went past the whole right through the West Ham midfield and got to the edge of the box, but wasn't able to finish it. But exactly. I think.
He split them like the Red Sea.
Exactly. And I thought, yeah, really imperious display defensively as well. Antonio wasn't getting any spare change out of him. I was really impressed with how he shackled him fairly well. And I thought Dier again with a really, really solid performance, building on his performance against Man United, despite he might have lost confidence when he gave away that penalty, but clearly it hasn't affected him. And he shows a lot of leadership qualities. You see, he's very vocal. When Antonio had that chance in the first half, he's getting stuck into the other defender saying, "Wake up! We can't be having that kind of stuff." So. I'm pretty happy with his performance, and I really hope he can continue this. As you say, I want to just calm down a bit. Everyone's going mad, saying, maybe he's our starting centre back from now. We'll see. I want to see a bit more consistency over a longer period of time, but I think it's really, really promising how he's performing.
It really is, and if this guy can turn into the centre back we want him to turn into, that's 50-60 million pound player that we don't have to sign.
True, could save us a lot of money. Levy will be rubbing his hands.
Exactly. Levy's doing the old Mr. Burns excellent Smithers now. Let's move on to Davinson Sanchez. We gave him a 7. I'm really liking the look of this Dier Sanchez partnership, albeit, yes, Sanchez can make a few mistakes here and there, but albeit, I think, all in all, I think it was a really good display from Davinson. A few brain farts here and there, but I thought good display. And he was trying the Toby pings over the top all game, and I think only one of them came off, didn't they?
Yeah, again, my biggest criticism is, but always be my biggest criticism of him is his quality on the ball is always severely lacking, in my opinion. And he tried a few long passes, and not the most frustrating thing for me is it just seemed absolutely nowhere near a white shirt at all. A lot of the time, it just goes straight back to West Ham whenever he tries anything like that. Like, at least get it near someone so they could even fight for it, but it was just nowhere near, which is a bit frustrating. But yeah, defensively, really solid. Mopped up a few times when Antonio looked like he was going to cover him behind. And I think, yeah, Sanchez was another really solid display from him. I think I would quite like to see a Dier-Toby partnership and see what that looked like. Because I think both of them had the ball playing abilities to really play balls into midfield, and maybe Sanchez might not. But I'd like to see Sanchez grow his ability on the ball, and he could really become a top centre back.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to Moussa Sissoko. We gave him a 7. I thought Moussa Sissoko, it was a classic Moussa performance. He touched every blade grass, but I think his touch and his passing did let him down at times yesterday, but I think he was an important player to have in there in the middle, non-stop running, energy, desire. But yeah, all in all, a good display from Moussa.
I agree, and I think you can see that this sitting role was not perfect for his skill set. But I think he did a really good job in breaking up play and disrupting West Ham whenever they went forward. And I think a few times he was able to use his surging runs to create some space and then find Lo Celso or Dele Alli or whatnot. But yeah, a couple times he was either trying to spray a pass or showing off passing ability or trying a good first touch, and it did let him down a bit. And I'm not sure it kind of suits him being in like a congested area like the central midfield and sitting deep like he does. But what he does well, he does really well, and that's using his physical strength, using his surging runs forward, and being able to put out some fires when he can. And I thought, for now, I think he's a pretty good stopgap for when, but maybe we need someone. Obviously, we've already said it. We need a defensive midfielder whose proper skill set is sitting back there. But I think Sissoko, for the time being, could do a job there, and I think he should continue there because I don't think we have anyone better at the moment who could do the job physically that he can.
Exactly, he's just filling in for Højbjerg until he comes.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Let's move on to the main man, Giovani Lo Celso. We gave him an 8. I thought he was head and shoulders above everyone on that pitch yesterday. Literally everyone. What more could I say? Literally, he should have got an assist from Kane because Kane should have slotted that. He got the assist in the end from the corner for the own goal. But
should have had him on as well with the VAR.
With the VAR as well. But this guy breaks the lines, turns defense into attack. How many times does he pick it up in our own half and takes it past 2 or 3 players and turns a defense into attack and breaks those lines? Like, the guy is the guy. I don't think we've seen a guy in midfield like that since Modric, and I think you said that before.
Yeah, I really think he's got supreme quality. It's there for all to see. The West Ham players couldn't get near him, anywhere near him. Mark Noble was chasing shadows the whole 90 minutes. He couldn't lay a glove on him. Lo Celso, he's got so much. He's more quality than in midfield than any of our midfielders, and he's definitely shown that. And
I think Mark Noble was just practicing social distancing on Gio last night, though. That's what it was.
That's what it seemed like. But Lo Celso, again, first start back after the lockdown, straight into the man of match territory. You see how much Mourinho values him. Mourinho clearly really likes him. And as you said, I think that in terms of quality, in terms of the way he weaves around players, and also when he gets into the final third, you always feel like he has that quality to make the difference as well. He's not scared to make a forward pass, a through ball, try a shot. Again, our most creative moments were from Lo Celso. He has a good way of pass. I wouldn't say he's like on Eriksen level chance creation just yet, but I would say that he's on his way there. And with a few, people forget, like he only really broke into the team in like around end of January time. So we still haven't had that, but like that. Obviously, since then he's been on like a really good string of matches where he's played consistently well. But I'd just love to see. He's a joy to watch. He really is a joy to watch the way he weaves around players, makes passes in behind. He's got such good quality. I just love watching him play. And I just hope he doesn't go the same way as Modric and go to Madrid in a couple of years' time. But it looks like he could be heading that way, the way things are going.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Spurs fans say Gio needs to add goals and assists to his game, and that's quite right. But I think with that, people need to just calm down a bit because, like you said, he has only been in the team a short space amount of time, and the goals and assists will definitely come. The guy oozes class.
But he sits in a deeper role. It's not like he's playing an attacking midfield role. So I understand people want goals and assists, but the role the stuff he's doing in central midfield is world class. Like it's absolute quality in what he's doing. Yeah. And yeah, he could add more goals and assists, but like for his role, it's second to none at the moment.
Yeah, look back. How many goals and assists did he get?
Not that many. When he did get, they were usually a banger, but it wasn't like he was a goals and assist machine. He just did his job in central midfield to a world-class standard, and that's what I'm seeing for the past 10 starts Lo Celso's had.
100%. Let's move on to Dele Alli. We gave him a 4. I thought he started the game with a bit of energy, got taken off after 60 minutes. I think he was huffing and puffing throughout the game, failed to provide any service of quality for Harry Kane. And yeah, not too much of note for Dele.
Yeah, I thought he looked all right when in the first 20 minutes or so. I thought whenever he got on the ball, he did look kind of sharp and he was like doing some nice turns and beating a man or two. But after that, he really did become frustrating for me. It seemed like every time he got the ball, he was like trying to take on 2-3 men, being really, really wasteful. Every time he tried to have a shot, he was snatching at it, putting it either scuffing the shot wide or putting it right over the bar. And I thought when it came to the hour mark, I was calling for Mourinho to take him off because I thought he was just every time he got the ball, he just felt like it looked like he felt like he had to try something. Like he had to try something different to try and break the deadlock, which I don't mind too much, but he just became really, really frustrating. And there are times where sometimes you just have to hang on to the ball and like lay off to someone in a better position, and he just wasn't doing the basics. And you saw the difference when Lamela came on. I thought Lamela had a really good cameo, so I thought he contributed really well. So it was a right decision to take him off. And I thought, yeah, it's his first game since lockdown, so maybe we cut him a bit of slack, but I thought it was a poor display by Dele.
Yeah, same. Let's move on to Heung Min Son. We gave him a 7. I actually thought it was another quiet display from Sonny. We didn't see much of him in the first half until he had that goal chalked off offside and right at the end. Second half, I think, yeah, it was a very good finish. Second half, it was a toenail offside, literally. Yeah. In the second half, I thought he was playing better, but ultimately, I think his marks come from that assist from Harry Kane's goal because it was a brilliant slot through, wasn't it?
It was a beautifully weighted pass through to Harry Kane. It's easier. It looks easier than it was, especially because he played it first time as well. But yeah, it wasn't his most active display. I would say. I think he kind of occupied their defense quite a lot. You saw whenever Son got the ball, they surrounded him quite a bit. I just fear sometimes that under this system so far, what we've seen of Son, unless he was playing up front like he did when Harry Kane was out, Son on the left. I don't, obviously he can play on the left. He's played on the left a lot. I just feel like in this Jose system, he can be stuck too far out wide, and we don't see enough of him coming inside and affecting the play like near the centre of the goal where he's really can be really effective. And I think sometimes when he's stuck at too far out wide, he can drift out the game quite badly. Okay. And I don't think this was a classic case of that, but I think there was elements to that in this game where he was just too far out wide sometimes. And I'd like to see a bit more of Son when he gets forward to try and get a bit more central and affect the play near the centre of the goal, because he's such a clinical finisher. We need him in and around the goal sometimes, and he's one of the best finishers in the squad. So sometimes being stuck out wide can deplete his game a bit.
Yeah, and I feel that he's doing a lot of defensive work as well, and when we're coming back, so that's good. But I'd like to see him just stay up a bit more, because we don't need Son back defending so much. I don't think anyway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you are. So obviously, Jose would argue we do. He likes his full wingers to kind of track the fullbacks all the way back, which is a bit annoying. But we like to. Son isn't really a left winger. He's more of a left forward.
Yeah,
that's how we see Son. So he's kind of playing as a winger at the moment, and he can do that role, but he's not. It's not a perfect role for him. He would rather be a forward cutting inside and being more central. But I feel like a lot of the time he's stuck out wide a bit too much, and it is a bit frustrating.
Yeah. And it showed as well when Kane was out, he scored like 5 or 6 games in a row.
Yeah, central. But is there a way of getting Son and Kane central in this Jose system? And then who do you play on the left? Yeah, it's a difficult one. Difficult one.
Yeah. Let's move on to Lucas Moura. We gave him a 6. Also his first game back, so I don't want to mark him down too much, but I thought it was an all-action display from Lucas Moura. But again, it's just time after time what I'm saying with Lucas Moura. His effort and desire is there. He just lacks quality in his end product, his crossing and his shooting. He should have got a goal. I think that he always puts great effort in, 100%. Runs for the team, runs for the badge, but it's the end product, isn't it?
Yeah, he had a decent moment in the first half where he skipped past Rice. He fired in a really good shot from like 25 yards, forcing Fabianski into a decent save. But yeah, when he really got that really big opportunity right at the end of the first half, completely scuffed the shot. He had loads of time. He could have powered it in. He could have side-footed it in, and he put it so far wide. It was actually a really worrying finish. But as you say, I thought his effort and desire was there, and I thought he caused West Ham a few problems in and around. I thought it's important to know a couple of times he played some really good balls into Serge Aurier, who was found in behind by Lucas. So you've got to give him credit for that. But as you say, in terms of actually making definitive contributions in the final third, he was found lacking a bit again. And I feel like Bergwijn, although it's easier coming on as a sub maybe to make a bit bigger impact, Bergwijn has shown a more of a prowess of recent times to make those contributions in the final third than Lucas has. Yeah, he's just too inconsistent with his finishing.
Yeah, exactly. He has one game, he scores a hat-trick in Amsterdam, and the next game he has 20 shots and can't even hit the target. Let's move on to Harry Kane. We gave him a 7. Finally back on the score sheet after 6 months out. Well, not 6 months out, but you know what I mean. He got his goal towards the end of the game. He had a lot of chances before that, 4 or 5 chances, I think I can remember, where he should really be doing better. On another day, he's getting a hat-trick. Again, Harry Kane, I think he's dropping way too deep, way too often, and I think he should just stay up there a bit. It was way too often in that first half. Dele Alli was the furthest player forward, where Harry Kane should be, really. And I'm seeing it way too often. I get why he's dropping deep, but I think it's happening way too often. But all in all, I think it was a good display from Harry Kane. Not his best display, obviously, but it's a step in the right direction, definitely from that Man United team, and hopefully we'll see more against Sheffield United.
Yeah, I think it was an improvement on the Man United game. I think playing up front on by yourself is a difficult position, and I think we've been accustomed to Harry Kane just like doing it so easily over the past since he broke into the team. Really, and it's kind of taken away from the fact that it's a lot of dog work. playing up front on your own. You know, you've got two defenders marking you a lot of the time, and you need to be really sharp and really physically up for the battle to be successful. And I think, as you said, I think it was a step in the right direction. I think he was definitely getting more involved in the game, which was really good to see, which is so important for Harry Kane, because when he's not involved in the game, a lot of the time he just lets it drift him by. And yeah, a couple chances probably passed him by, and he could have maybe been on the end of a hat trick if he was a bit sharper. But he did take the goal really, really well, I felt. Although he might not have got that chance if it was still 1-0 because there was so much space in behind the defence. But he did take it really well. And there was a couple of moments actually where he was sprinting, and it looked like, you know, he was getting his pace back a bit. There was one that chance where he put it just wide with the left foot when Lo Celso set him up. If you watch it back, he did a really fast sprint to get to that ball. So that was a problem. And he obviously sprinted away from the last defender for West Ham to score the goal. So I think his sharpness is getting back, and hopefully this will give him extra motivation going to the final few games of the season to have a strong end to the season. And I think he is motivated. I'm confident that he's going to have a good end to the season. And you could see the relief in his eyes and his body really when he scored that goal. You know, it was a big weight off his shoulders, his first goal after 6 months. So I think with that mental barrier now lifted, hopefully he'll go on to have a good end to the season.
All right. Let's talk about the subs quickly. Eric Lamela, I thought he came on and did a very good job, much better than Dele Alli. What did you make out of Eric?
Yeah, I was very impressed with Eric Lamela. I felt he could have had a penalty. He was fouled in the box, and he decided not to go down. Tried to stay on his feet. He had a shot and went side netting. But a really good, I thought, really good display from him. He also won the ball. He was classic Eric Lamela tracking back into our defensive third, and that set us up for the counter attack, which led to our second goal. And I thought a really good cameo from him, and I thought he did more in his performance than Dele Alli did for the whole hour. So he should be proud of his cameo again. So maybe he's knocking on the door for another start in our next game, the way he played.
We'll see.
I thought he played well against United as well.
That's what we need to see. And then I think he can start regularly if he ups his end product. Stephen Bergwijn came on for Lucas Moura. I thought as well, good display from Stevie B. He just looks so much better on the ball. Maybe not on the ball, but he looks more direct and more. You feel more confident with Stephen Bergwijn. More dangerous. Yeah, that's the word. That's the word I'm looking for. He looks more dangerous. I think Lucas Moura, you're always thinking that, he's a good dribbler and get past his man, but you know what's happening at the end. Stephen Bergwijn, he actually adds quality at the end of his runs.
Seems to go for the kill. Bergwijn, he doesn't seem to be a player unlike Lucas, who sometimes wastes a lot of attacks. Bergwijn seems to want to make sure these attacks lead to something substantial. And a lot of I know we had a few counter attacks which near the end of the game, which he might have been able to do better with. But at least he looked like he was going for goal and looking to make something happen. And I think it proved Jose's point when he was talking about substitutes and how vital it is to have someone to bring off the bench when other players are tired. Because before that, when Lucas was tired, we didn't have anyone to come on and to bring on and have energy in the attack once they've burnt out. We were just keeping them on for 90 minutes and hoping they find energy from somewhere. But now we're in a situation where Lucas comes off, Bergwijn comes on, one speedster for another, and it adds another element to our attack and our counter-attacking play if we're on the counter-attack. So I think that's a big, because it's always been a big element to Mourinho's tactics, his substitutions in the second half. It's always been a big factor for him being able to replace like for like. So you could see, I thought you saw it clear in this game.
Definitely. And the last sub was Harry Winks. He didn't really have not much time, but he was literally just brought on to solidify the midfield and just block what he calls it, hiding the ball from West Ham.
He did. I think didn't make any mistakes, but he wasn't on for that long.
And Jose Mourinho, we gave him a 7. What did you make out of the lineup, first of all?
Yeah, I think the lineup, he got it pretty right. I can't have too many complaints. Maybe you could argue could have started Bergwijn ahead of Lucas, but I think Lucas, he likes Lucas a lot, and I don't think Lucas was that bad.
Anyway. All these players need
minutes, and I think Lucas, obviously, he's not a bad player, so I don't think it's that unfair to give him a start in this kind of game. Obviously, we've got a lot of games coming up. So I can't. Obviously, Dele Alli, I think he was right to take him off after the hour, after his performance. And I think he got his tactics pretty spot on. You could argue maybe we could have gone more. You could argue we could have gone more attacking, but West Ham was sitting very deep. It's always going to be hard to break them down. And we did create a few chances, albeit in the first half we were probably moving the ball a bit too slowly, as even the players admitted. That wasn't the game plan to be that patient. So once we did get the goal, I thought he did it to perfection. I thought once we got the goal, I know West Ham did hit the post, but by and large they didn't really have too many efforts on our goal, and I thought we looked very dangerous on the counter attack. We sat back, and I thought it worked. And I know fans are complaining. I can see it can be a bit frustrating to see that, but I thought the tactics did work, so you can't really complain about them.
Yeah, albeit we were playing a very, very poor West Ham side with no recognised striker in the team.
I get that, but you got to take everyone as it comes at the moment. I really believe that.
That's true. But, I'm just looking back to when we were playing with no recognised striker, with no Son, with no Kane, how toothless we looked. And if West Ham are going to be doing that, how bad are they going to be? So that's the way I'm looking at it. But Jose Mourinho, I don't have too much complaints. What I want to talk about is the Ndombele situation.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy didn't warm up once last night, didn't go for one jog. And apparently everyone else did, even the players that didn't come on. So what do you make out of that?
So, it's a really, really a peculiar and frustrating situation, because obviously we can see how much quality this guy has. I don't know whether the rumours are true or not. In France, there's another journalist now, an ESPN journalist, who's backing up the rumours, saying that Ndombele and Mourinho got into a fight on Monday because Mourinho again called him out in training, apparently saying that he's not giving 100%. Ndombele apparently said he is feeling he does give 100%, and apparently Ndombele did say he was not going to play for Mourinho again. But I don't believe if he said that, Mourinho would have put him on the bench. So that's a peculiar one. And I also don't believe if he would have said that Mourinho would have backed him up in the press conference after the game, because Mourinho is not one to shy away from these kind of things, as he didn't when the Burnley game happened. So it's hard to know what to believe at the moment. Mourinho says that he just didn't need him for these two games. He needed a different skill set. I just find that hard to buy when not even giving him a minute at all. It's a bit of a frustrating one. You should have given him at least 10-15 minutes over those two games somewhere near the end of the game. So I feel especially against United, he definitely should have found a place for him, because I really feel like we could have used his skill set later on in that game. Could have made a difference. So I don't know if I could say he's managing him badly. Obviously, we don't know all the ins and outs, but it's a frustrating situation at the moment, and I hope that Ndombele can somehow get into his good books if he's clearly not in his good books, and somehow get some minutes. So we all want to see him succeed at Spurs, and I just hope Mourinho knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something fishy going on, so I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens and see how it all plans out. But that's our player rating. Sorry to end it on a negative note after a win, but I think most of it's been positive. We've got Sheffield United next week, Thursday night. So watch out for all the content revolving that game. Like, subscribe, and comment below if you like our content. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.